Welcome to Access Short's A to Z Configuring Connectors. In this video, we'll be looking at connector configuration and installation. Our objectives are for you to be able to explain how connectors are used and to be able to configure and install new connectors in your environment. Connectors provide a secure and authenticated interface between your network and the Access cloud. Connectors only communicate with two entities. They have an outbound connection to a secured app and an outbound connection to the Access cloud. It's important to note that connectors have no inbound listeners and do not communicate directly with user devices or any other element. Connectors are both a lightweight container that is deployed on Linux servers in a network segment that can access both the customer's applications and the Access cloud at the same time, but connectors are also configuration elements that are exposed within the Access Management Console. In order to configure and enable a connector, you first configure the connector within the Access Management Console and then go through the process of installing the connector software on a Linux host. It's important to ensure that when you deploy your connector to a local private cloud, on-prem, or a public cloud, that you meet the system requirements in terms of CPU cores, memory, storage, operating system, version, IP connectivity. We will now look at configuring your connector in the Access Management Console. To configure a new connector, we first click the New Connector button on the Connector Management screen. We then give the connector a name and specify which connector zone it'll live in. After clicking Next, you'll be presented with a command to use to do the connector install, copy it. Now we'll look at installing the connector software on a host. Now paste the command from the previous step into the console for your host, where we'll go through 16 steps of an install. They include checking for prerequisites, IP connectivity, and loading the correct software onto the host itself. When all 16 steps are completed, your connector is successfully installed and will register with the Access cloud and be available for use. In this session, we looked at how connectors are used and how to configure and install new connectors. Thank you for watching this Access A to Z video.